Hello everyone. This is just a very quick information session on terms of how to solve for the following problems that I had given out on the lecture for this week for Module 3. In the first examples that I had given you all, I had given you this particular table, the one that says Table 3.1, Statistics Quiz for a section of 8 students that we would have. And in terms of how we would actually solve for our group average, essentially here, this is the exact same table or a very similar table to the one that I demonstrated during the lecture, in that we have here our scores that actually appeared on the quizzes. These are the frequency of occurrence of each one of those grades that we actually have. So 10 occurs 1 time, 9 occurs 2 times, 8 occurs 4 times, 7 occurs 0 times, and 6 occurs 1 time. In reality, this one right here of a value of a 7 doesn't really need to be needed there, but it is in this particular case included in there, but it doesn't contribute to our sample size because nobody received that score. So again, here's our product column that we actually have in terms of the multiplication between the frequency of occurrence of our scores to create this new frequency product column that we have. So again, our scores here are now 10, 18, 32, 0, and 6, because again, remember, 10 times 1 is 10, 9 times 2 is 18, 8 times 4 is 32, 6 times 1 is 6, and 7 times 0 is 0. Thus, whenever it is that we want to calculate our group average, remember that our group average is made up the sum of x divided by n, again the sum of x being our sum of our scores. So in this particular case, we could have written out again 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, 8, and 6, and we could have added those numbers up, and that would have given us a value of a 66, or we can just add up this product column here that we have, and that gives us a value of a 66. So 66 divided by 8 is going to give us a value of an 8.25 in terms of our group average. In our second example here that we have two different groups. We have the non-humorous sentence group and the humorous sentence group. And here, so we can see how many participants exist in each one of those particular groups, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals per group. Now, potentially these could be the same individuals, they could be different individuals. That really is not of our concern at this point, because we're not really looking at this aspect of using the same individuals or not. But here we just know that there were 6 individuals in the non-humorous group, 6 individuals in the humorous group. So again, here we do our sum of x. In this particular case is equal to 17. 17 divided by our value of a 6, because again, that is our sample size, giving us a value of a 2.3. And for our humorous sentence group, we summed up our values, giving us a value of a 29, dividing again by 6, giving us a value of 4.83. Now, in our second example here that I had given you all in terms of in-class practice, I had told you all to calculate the mean, median, mode, and also sample size for time 1 and also for time 2, so for pre-test and also for post-test. So here the first step that we would always want to take in terms of our scores whenever it is that we're working with the data set is, since we are interested in looking at this aspect of the median, is we'd probably want to put all our scores in order. Again, ascending order or descending order, that's really not going to have an effect on our performance. So here, putting all your scores in order is going to be very important for us. And then we can go ahead and easily calculate the mean, median, mode, and also sample size. So for time 1, our sample size was equal to 20. We have 20 values in my data set for time 1. My group average is an 86.6. My mode is an 89, so the 89 value occurs the most frequently in my data set. In this particular case, it occurs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, thus giving me a mode of an 89. And my median value is going to be an 89 as well. And again, once it is that we put these values in order, we should find that the value of an 89 is going to be right at the middle point, where 50% of our scores are below and 50% of our scores are above that specific value. For time 2, we do the exact same procedure, putting all our values again in order. Descending or ascending order is not really going to matter to us at this point. And again, our sample size is also going to be equal to 20 in this particular case. My group average is equal to an 82. My mode, again, still remains as an 89. So here we still have value of an 89, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times occurring, thus giving us a value of an 89 as the mode. And our median still remains as an 89 in this particular case. So even though we do have some very particular outliers that we have in my data set, so 55, 58, 55, 54, and a 50, even though they do not occur that frequently in my data set in comparison to all the other values, we can actually still see their effect in terms of the mean, where it pulls down our mean by about 4.6 points the mode is unaffected because, again, outliers do not affect the mode, and the median, again, is also unaffected by having these outliers in our specific data set. Hopefully everyone got the exact same answers to these particular questions or to these practice problems. If you do have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me or leave a voice discussion board or post on the discussion board for questions regarding class issues. Thank you, and let me know if you have any questions.